Well, amen. Today's video, I'm going to be in Daniel chapter 4, and I'm going to read or start around probably around Daniel 4 and 27. But a recap though, this is where Nebuchadnezzar had a couple of dreams. And Daniel came to interpret those dreams. And this is after, where I'm going to start reading is after Daniel gets the interpretation. So I'm going to start, I think I said around 26 or 27, but I'm going to start at 26. And whereas they commanded to leave the stump of the tree root, thy kingdom shall be sure unto thee. After that thou shalt have known that the heavens do rule. And this is verse 27. Wherefore, O king, let my counsel be acceptable unto thee, and break off thy sins by righteousness, and thine iniquities by showing mercy to the poor, if it may be a lengthening of thy tranquility. Okay, now verse 28 is where things are going to happen, because the king refused to change. The king Nebuchadnezzar refused to repent and refused to everything that Daniel told him. So therefore, guess what? That dream fulfilled. This is verse 28. And all of this came upon King Nebuchadnezzar. At the end of the 12th month, he walked in the palace in the kingdom of Babylon. The king spake and said, Is not this the great Babylon that I have built for the house of the kingdom by the might of my power, and for the honor of my majesty? While the word was in the king's mouth, there fell a voice from heaven, saying, O King Nebuchadnezzar, to thee it is spoken. The kingdom is departed from thee, and they shall drive thee from men, and thy dwelling shall be with the beasts of the field. They shall make thee to eat grass as oxen, and 7 times shall pass over thee, until thou know that the Most High ruleth the kingdom of men, and give it to whomsoever he will. The same hour that this thing fulfilled upon Nebuchadnezzar, and he was driven from men, and did eat grass as oxen, and his body was wet with dew from the heaven, and his hairs were grown like eagle feathers, and his nails like birds' claws. This this right here just goes to show that, if the Lord speaks something, will it be through a prophet or whatever, it's going to come to pass. And just like here, and it said that in verse 32, says that, and 7 times shall pass over thee. So I'm going by that. Nebuchadnezzar was out in the fields as an ox for 7 years. That's what I think that means. So, could you imagine not bathing for 7 years? Well, I mean, you could probably have rivers, but your hair not being cut, your nails not being clipped, things of that nature. Could you imagine the stench? Could you just imagine all because Nebuchadnezzar refused to change his ways. That's why obedience is better than sacrifice, because Nebuchadnezzar sacrificed those, I'm assuming, 7 years of his life living as an ox. This is verse 34. And at the end of the days, I, Nebuchadnezzar, lifted mine eyes unto the heaven, and mine understanding returned unto me. And I blessed the Most High, and I praised and honored him that liveth forever, whose dominion is ever and everlasting dominion, and his kingdom is from generation to generation. You see, with that right there, it had to be fulfilled. The term of the interpretation of the dream came to pass. So therefore, it wasn't a day short, it wasn't a day later, but it was the exact time that it was spoken in that dream and in the interpretation. And there was nothing that could have been done about it, because that was Nebuchadnezzar's punishment. That's what he got for disobeying and being an evil ruler until all this was complete. So therefore, then he rectified himself. I think that's the right word. And therefore changed his ways immediately after he came to himself. Verse 35. And all the inhabitants of the earth are reputed as nothing, and he doeth according to his will in the army of heaven, and among the inhabitants of the earth, and none can stay his hand, or say unto him, What doest thou? At the same time my reason returned unto me. At the same time my mind returned unto me. And for the glory of my kingdom, mine honor and brightness returned unto me. And my counselors and my lords sought unto me. And I was established in my kingdom, and excellent majesty was added unto me. So therefore, saying all that, you can go back and read Daniel chapter 4. But everything that was said, everything that was spoken in that dream, and in the things that Daniel spoke to him, it all came to pass. Nothing was left out, and nothing was added to. Was added to that dream unless it was in the dream. So there was no outside influence. And this is number 37. Now I, Nebuchadnezzar, praise and exalt and honor the King of heaven, and whose works are truth, and his ways judgment. Those that walk in pride, he is able to abase. So that was Nebuchadnezzar saying that if you walk in pride, guess what? God's gonna get you. So that's one of the main reasons why we must always walk with humbleness and humility. And because if you have humility, then it will be very, very hard for you to get prideful, because that's just how it is. You have humility, then you accept when you're wrong, and then therefore it helps you repent quickly. But going on to chapter 5, I'm not going to read all that, but if we go into chapter 5, you will see that Nebuchadnezzar started serving the gods of gold, silver, brass, iron, woods, and of stone. So that would be an idol, or partaking in idolatry. So then the handwriting on the wall. Then Daniel comes up, and then it's basically a repeat. Daniel interprets it, and then it comes to pass because Nebuchadnezzar refused to forsake idolatry, and he chose to not serve the true God. So all in all, God's gonna get you, and that's why we have to stay humble. That's why we have to stay in humility. I'm not always right. I know that. And we have to continue to seek the Lord in His righteousness in everything that we do, no matter what it is. It's just we have to continue to get the word out, and to stay humble, and like I say again, to walk with humility. So seek the Lord while He may be found. Time is running short. Time is running very short.